Welcome back. Nathan Fletcher is joining us this morning, the Assemblyman, to discuss his current work and what's going on in Sacramento as well.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's start with what's happening with the call box agency that's disbanded. What is that? What exactly does that mean? Because we talked about the call boxes before.
Yeah, we've been working on this for a while, and this was really brought to light by a lot of San Diego media sources where you had a government entity that really was wasting and in some instances abusing taxpayer funds. And in these difficult budget times where you've seen drastic cuts to budgets, every dollar should be accounted for and should be spent properly. And so what we did, working with Lori Zaff and with David Alvarez, a bipartisan group, was advance legislation to reform that program, basically abolish that entity, redistribute the excess funds back to cities that have seen devastating budget cuts to try and help them out a little bit, and then ensure that the program moving forward has greater transparency with transparency measures that are put in place, greater accountability. We want the original program to be run and administered. We just want it to be done properly. And so it was I think, a rare thing that actually is advancing government reform in Sacramento.
The tax that was collected for this is still being collected. What type of problem did you run into as far as trying to? Yeah, the
$1 fee, which has been charged for decades now, to run the program, I thought was a little bit high. And my original intent was to try and lower that to a little bit lower level, but you run into difficulty in Sacramento. You either have to abolish it when most public safety experts agree the program is still needed, or continue it. And so what we tried to do was say, okay, if we have those funds, how do we redirect them to where it will best serve the public? And that was where we redistributed it back to cities that had paid in to really help them plug a lot of their budget holes and problems they face, and then really reform it moving forward, more transparency and accountability.
So this is a signed, done deal?
Done. Governor signed it. It'll go into effect, and I just really appreciate all the groups that came out and supported it. And in a lot of ways, our media partners that really helped expose the problem. And that's an important role they play, and we saw a problem, we tried to respond with a solution.
Okay, let's switch topics. Yesterday, you made a pretty big endorsement for Scott Peters. You want to explain why you decided to endorse him? Yeah,
Scott's been a friend of mine for years. I've worked with him, I've seen him work, and I think people were frustrated with the gridlock in Washington, D.C. I think they're frustrated, with an overly partisan environment. And I know Scott Peters is a person who really takes a thoughtful approach, who looks at the issues, who's willing to make reasonable accommodations or compromise to actually try and get it done. And he's who I want in my congressman. And this is my district where I live and have represented for years. And I know he'll be an outstanding representative.
Do you take a hit again as far as the Republican Party goes when you come out and endorse the Democratic Party, you being in between now? Well,
you do. And it demonstrates, I think, the challenges of the modern environment. When years ago when I supported Democrats who were running for office, they said, you can't do that. What are you doing? You have to toe the party line. And I said, I've always looked at the person first. And I've always said, who do I believe is best? Not what party, but who as a person do I believe is best, and voted for the person. That was true when I supported Tom Torlakson for Superintendent of Public Instruction, when I supported Isidore Hall for State Assembly, both Democrats, and it's true in this instance.
Will you weigh in on the mayor's race before it's said and done?
I don't know. When I feel a compelling reason to endorse, then I get involved in races, and if I don't feel a compelling reason to endorse, then I won't. And in this case, I did, and I really believe Scott Peters will be great.
All right. Nathan Fletcher, thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate it. Coming up on Good Morning San Diego, the newest edition.